Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will be focusing on group by clause. In the previous video, we have learned about the aggregate functions. In this video, we will learn why we require group by clause. What is the difference between the group by clause and the where clause? So for the demonstration purpose, I have created a database that is company database. And in that database, I have added two tables, department table and employee table. And I have also inserted some records inside both the tables. Now, these SQL commands, I have attached the link in the description box. You can download the SQL commands from there and you can practice. Okay. Now let's get started. First, I'm writing one simple query. Select some salary from employees. So if I write this particular query, so we'll get particular value, that is sum of all the salary records. For the salary column, whatever records are there, it will give the sum of the column, right? Now, what if I want sum of salary, but I want department wise. So for that, what I can do, select some salary from employees, but I want it department wise. So let's say I'm going to use group by clause, group by department ID. So what happens here? If I write like this, select star from employees. Okay, select star from employees. So what I'm going to get here, employee ID, employee name, department ID, salary. Now, a particular employee is from department ID 1. This is from department ID 1. So what it will give us? For department ID 1, whoever employees are there. So here I can see 3 employees in department ID 1. So it will sum the department ID 1 employees salary. 85,000 plus 72,000 and plus 78,000. That will be a separate result. Then for department ID 2, whichever employee is the department ID 2, department 2, it will sum that employee salary 65 plus 55. Okay. For department ID 3, 90 plus 48 plus 52. And for department ID 4, 60,000 only, because this is null value. We'll ignore that number. Okay. So what if I run this command? Will it get executed? Yes, executed. So what I got here, sum salary 23, whatever sum is there for department ID 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 departments. What if now I have to display here the department ID? Let's say I want to display here the department ID also. I'm going to write here department ID, comma, sum salary from employees group by department ID. Then I can say for department ID 1, whichever employees belongs to department ID 1, their salary sum is this. Employees belonging to department ID 2, salary sum is this. 3, this, 4, this, and so on. Okay, I hope you understood why we use group by command. Now you will ask me question, why don't we simply use where command and filter? So if I use a where command, let's select department ID, comma, sum salary. So why we use basically where command? Recall our where clause lecture. So we discussed that we use where clause for filtering the rows. For filtering the rows. So let's say if I use here where, I need to give here some condition. So where department ID is equals to 1. If I give him as a condition, if I give MySQL a condition, department ID 1. Now in this case, it will only show me the sum of salaries for department ID 1. But I want to display sum of salaries for all departments. So for that, where clause will not help us. Now let's say I write here department ID is equal to 1 or department ID is equals to 2. Now if I run this query, what it will do? It will give us for both the departments, but it will give us the combined. In aggregate query without group by, expression 1 list contains non-aggregate. Okay. What will happen here if I remove this particular department ID and do some? Okay. Now what I'm going to get is here the result, whatever result is there, it will be combination, combining department ID 1 and 2 and then sum of their salaries. But I'm not getting the individual department salaries. So for that, I need to do group by. And what this error previously had occurred, I will explain you this error in some time. Okay. So I hope you understood why we require group by and what is the difference between group by clause and the where clause. Now we'll understand this in more detail. Yes. See here, group by versus where clause. So here you have an employees table. Here you have employees table. And here, let's say this example, average salary of IT employees only. Select average salary as average salary from employees where department is IT. So here we know the department is IT and it is giving you the average salary of IT department. But what if I want the average salary of each department? So for that I need to group by that department name. So group by the department, select the department, comma average salary as average salary from employees and group by department. Then I will get the average salary for each department. This is the basic difference between group by clause and where clause. So basically, can we use where clause and group by clause together? Yes, we can use. So see here, group by clause works after where clause. It groups rows into categories. It is used with aggregate function and it returns one row per group. One row per group. Whereas in the where clause, it works before the group by clause. It filters the individual row. It does not use aggregate functions. It reduces the data set early. Okay, this is a difference between the where clause and the group by clause. Now, if we combine this, where clause and group by clause, if we combine, let's just select department average salary as average salary from employees where city is equal to Delhi, group by department having average salary greater than 55,000. What is this having clause? We will see in the further video. Now, for the today's video, only focus on the first four statements. Now, here what will happen first? First, data from the table. So first from will run from employees. It will take the data from the table employees. Then it will filter the row from Delhi first, where city is equal to Delhi. Then what it will do? Then it will group by department. Whatever the rows are filtered, then that will be get grouped by department. Then then aggregate function will be applicable. Then it will apply the aggregation on salary column and then select statement will execute. Then it will display the result. For now, we are not considering this having. Okay, we will discuss in the further. So this is how it works. Okay. First, where city is equal to Delhi, rows are filtered, then rows are grouped, then average is calculated for each group, and then the result is displayed. So this is how group by works, where group by combine works. This is how SQL execution order is there. This we have discussed in many other videos also. Okay, now we'll move on to our MySQL workbench. Let us discuss group by. We are using group by clause for a single column. Single column group by. So what do you mean by single column group by? So let's say I'm writing a query, select department ID, comma, count star. It's an aggregate function from employees. Okay, from employees, group by department ID. So this I'm using the group by for a single column, department ID, and I'm using the aggregate function count. So what it will display me? What it will display me? For department ID 1, there are 3 records. For department ID 2, there are 2 records. For department ID 3, there are 3 records. And for department ID 4, there are 2 records. So total how many records are there? 10 records are there. Out of that, for each department, how many records are there? That it will give us the output. Now, similarly, if I do like this, select department ID, comma, count star. Then if I write like this, average salary, comma, minimum salary, comma, maximum salary, and from employees, group by. Again, I'm using one column. So group by, let's say department ID. So if I run this, for each department, what is the count? For department 1, there are 3 records. For that 3 records, what is the average salary? For that, what is the minimum salary? And for that, what is the maximum salary? This is all done by grouping the department IDs. Okay. I hope you understood this single column group by. Okay. Now let us understand multiple column group by. Multiple column group by. How we can use multiple columns. So let's say I'm going to select department ID, comma the job title also. Job title, comma count star. Count star. Okay. From the table employees. Employees. And here I'm going to group by the department ID as well as another column, that is job title. Okay, what if I execute this? What if I execute this? Now it will tell me from department 1 and job senior developer. So the person belongs to employee belongs to department 1 and job title is senior developer. Such one employee exists. There are two employees who belongs to department 1 and are developers. There are two employees who belongs to department 3 and are executives. Okay, like this, it will show me the count for. Now it will group by department ID as well as the senior developer. So here you can see department IDs are repeated. Okay, so for one department ID, there can be many employees with other job titles, right? Senior developer. Then here for this department ID2, manager, analyst. For department ID3, there are two sales head and executive. For department 4, it is a HR manager and intern, like this. So for these two particular columns, we have grouped them, and we are now telling what is the count of employee who belongs to department ID1 and is a senior developer, like this. So I hope you understood how multiple group by works. Okay. Now let's discuss something called as group by with expressions. Group by with expressions. What is this group by with expressions? Let's say I'm going to select case. We have already done this case and okay. Case when salary is less than 50,000, then low. When salary is let's say less than 80,000, then medium. Else I'm writing high. If the salary is less than 50,000, low, less than 80,000, medium. Else it is high, means above 80,000 it is high. And I'm going to end this case, comma, I'm writing one aggregate function count, okay, from employees, and group by. In this also I'm going to write some case end. So what is my first case? When similar this same case I'm going to write. When salary is less than 50,000, then low, else high, like this. So if I write this, okay. So this is my query. I'll just execute this query now. What you can see here. If my salary is high, there are 3 employees with high salary. There are 6 employees with medium salary, and there is only 1 employee with low salary. What do you mean by low salary now? If its salary is less than 50,000. If the salary is less than 80,000 and greater than 50,000, it is medium. There are 6 employees with this salary, and there are 3 employees whose salary are greater than 80,000. So this is how we can group them using expressions also. Okay. Let us understand the other concept, that is group by functions. Group by functions. Let's say I want to select, I'm going to use a function year, hire date. I know, I hope you know what is a year function will do. We have discussed it in earlier videos also. Comma, count, star. Okay. From employees, group by. Here only one column is there, that is hire date. But we are using year function, that is year. So we'll write year, hire date. So year-wise grouping we will do. We have to do year-wise. From the hire date, extract the year and do year-wise grouping and tell me for each year how many employees got hired for that year. So if I execute this, I will see in 2022, in 2020, 2 employees hired. In 2019, 1 employee was hired. In 2021, 2 employees were hired, like this and so on. I hope you understood how we use group by functions. Similarly, if we write here month, if I write here month function and group by month. So if I execute this query now, it will tell us in January month or in the first month, how many employees got hired. The third month, how many employees got hired. And similarly for other months also. Okay. I hope it is clear how we are using group by with functions. Now we'll see something group by without aggregate functions. So till now we used aggregate functions in group by. Let's say I'm writing like this: select department ID from employees, group by department ID. If I execute this, what it will return? It will return the department ID only 1, 2, 3, 4. We are not performing any aggregate function, so it will not return any other functions, any other column. So it is just grouping the department 1, 2, 3, 4. It is telling me how many distinct departments you have. So this particular query is nothing but equivalent to writing like this. So if you write like this, select distinct department ID, distinct department ID from employees. If I write this particular query and run, still I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, same answer. So group by department ID without any aggregate function is nothing but selecting distinct department IDs. Because here grouping is done means it will remove the duplicates. It will only give us the distinct IDs only. And since we are not performing any aggregate functions here, it will return as a department ID 1, 2, 3, 4. And this particular command distinct department ID will also do the same thing. So these both queries are nothing but equivalent queries. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, now we'll move on to some important concept, that is only full group by mode. So now I'm writing one query, select @SQL mode. If I run this particular query, so what is the output here? Only full group by. Just focus on this for now, only full group by. So my mode is currently only full group by. Now for how to test this. So here I'm writing one query, select employee name, comma, department ID, comma, count, star. Okay, from employees and group by. Let's say I'm writing only department ID. Here I have mentioned employee name, comma, department ID and an aggregate function, and group by only department ID. So if I run this particular query, there is an error. What is an error? Expression #1 of select list is not in group by clause and contains non-aggregated column, that is company db.employees.employee name, which is not functionally dependent on columns in group by clause. This is incompatible with SQL mode, only full group by. So what it is trying to say is we have to include this particular column. This particular column is not an aggregated column. We have not used any aggregated function on this particular column. And we have also not specified that particular column in the group by clause. So this is not allowed. This is not allowed. So what is the correct query for this? If I execute this query like this, group by department ID, comma employee name. Now this query will get executed. Now this query will get executed. So it will now group with employee name as well as the department ID. So there is one employee with Rahul Sharma in department ID 1. There is another employee Priya Patel with department ID 1, like this. And there are no employees or departments together. In one department, there is no employee with same name for both the employees. That's why for all the things we have got the same count 1, 1, 1. This is just for understanding purpose. What does the SQL mode means? So whichever column if you specify here, that should be there in the group by clause. If that particular column is a non-aggregated column. Non-aggregated column means it does not use any aggregated function. If I write like this, select select employee name department. If I write like this, select some salary, comma department ID, comma count. And I'm not mentioning here salary. Here I'm only mentioning department ID column. I'm not mentioning the salary name. It is allowed because the salary is nothing but an aggregated column. If it is non-aggregated column, then it is not allowed. So if I run this query, it will get executed. Okay, I hope you understood. Let us discuss one more function, that is group concat. We have already discussed this in the aggregation functions video also. Okay, so let's say select department ID, comma, group concat let's say employee name, okay, from employee tables, employees, group by department ID. Okay. Since this is also an aggregated function, group concat is also aggregated function. If I run this query, what is the answer? So department ID 1, group concat. So what this function, aggregated function group concat does, it returns a single string with comma separated values. So I'm getting here the employees with employee names from department ID 1 or department 1. How many employees are there? Their names I'm going to get with comma separation. Similarly, for department 2, which employees are there in department 2, which employees are there in department 3, which employees are there in department 4. Okay, so I hope you are clear how we use group concat function here. So this is all about the group by clause. So in this video, we try to understand what is the difference between group by clause and where clause and how we can use group by clause. What is the main purpose of group by clause? And we have also discussed one more important topic, that is only full group by mode, what that mean, and which columns you have to specify in the group by clause, which columns you don't have to specify. What is the difference between if you don't use group by with aggregate functions that is similar to distinct, right? So I hope you like this video. So if you find this video interesting and helpful, do like,